Step 37, fertilization with IVF and ICSI. On the day you have an egg collection, your partner provides semen sample for assessment and usage for IVF or ICSI. If sperm quality is normal, generally you will have IVF. If sperm quality is abnormal, or if you had a low fertilization in the past, if your partner has anti-sperm antibodies, if your partner had a TISA or TZ procedures, then you will need to have ICSI. Here I will explain actually what happens in the lab on the day of egg collection. First I will explain ICSI, then I will explain IVF. Let us say you had egg collection. All your eggs will be counted, that's called total eggs, and those eggs will be transported to the lab. Within 2 to 4 hours after your egg collection, embryologists assess your egg for maturity and the quality if you're having ICSI. So they will do something called denudation, which means that they strip off your eggs from the surrounding cells, nursing cells, using special solution, and look on the surface of your eggs directly. Then they can see whether your eggs are mature. In terms of maturity, your eggs will be assessed and categorized into 3 categories: GV, M to M1, these are immature eggs, they need to be discarded, and M2 eggs. These eggs can be used and they will be inseminated with partner's sperm using ICSI. Healthy looking sperm will be selected and 1 sperm injected into each egg. The next day they check for fertilization. So the eggs are left in the incubator 16 to 18 hours. Then embryologist next morning checks how many of those eggs fertilized. When they check the eggs for fertilization, they categorize fertilized eggs, or now embryos, into 2 categories: unfertilized or abnormally fertilized, and fertilized eggs. So unfertilized eggs called the 1PN, that has got only 1 single nucleus, it doesn't have a sperm nucleus. Or 3PN, here you had an abnormal division of X chromosomes. There are 3 nucleus, extra nucleus, which cannot be used and discarded. And 2PN, we actually want 2 PNs. Here 2PN, you can see 2 nucleus, one's X nucleus, second is sperm's nucleus. These are fertilized eggs, and they're healthy fertilized eggs and potentially healthy embryos, and only these ones will be kept and put in the incubator for growth until blastocyst stage. Now let us see what happens when you have IVF. You had egg collection, all eggs will be transported to the lab, and those eggs will be fertilized, inseminated using your partner's sperm. And here each egg in its own well will be left with tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of sperm for fertilization overnight. It's kind of more natural way of fertilization. Here you cannot check the quality of eggs because you cannot directly see the eggs, because they are surrounded with multiple tiny nursing cells. So you leave all eggs. Let us say you had 10 total eggs. All eggs will be left with the sperm for fertilization overnight. After 18 to 20 hours, again next morning, eggs will be checked here for fertilization and the maturation. Again next morning, eggs will be go through denudation, and your embryologist checks for maturation. They really want 2PN, 2 pronucleus eggs, which are fertilized, or M1 eggs, which are immature and not fertilized eggs, because they don't have polar body here, and M2 eggs. These are mature eggs but didn't fertilize. So there's an issue with the fertilization. They categorize fertilized, immature, and mature and not fertilized eggs, because understanding of this, how many mature eggs were there and how many fertilized, is very important in assessment of sperm function and egg function. And this will be included in your overall assessment of your IVF outcomes, embryo development and IVF outcomes. Yes, so difference is in ICSI, your eggs will be inseminated on the same day with the sperm and also assessed for maturity and quality. In IVF, eggs will be inseminated with sperm, and maturity and quality, not quality, maturity and fertilization will be checked next day. The main difference here is in IVF we cannot assess the quality of the eggs because we do not see eggs immediately after collection. We will just check the eggs next day after waiting 18 to 20 hours for fertilization and maturation.